Hey everyone, welcome back to our PressiCraft WordPress tutorial series. Today we have got an exciting episode lined up for you. In this video, we are diving into some advanced customization techniques that will take your WordPress site to the next level. So here's what we'll be covering. We'll be covering the customization of the homepage, creating your own pattern and using it across your site, adding a table of contents to post, using anchor tags to smooth navigation, understanding and editing templates, and many more. So if you haven't watched our previous episodes, make sure to check them out so you can catch up on all the essential skills we have covered so far. You'll find everything from setting up your site to taking it to the next level. Before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Ready to get started? Let's dive into the world of WordPress and unlock the full potential of your website. Now I think you have a good understanding on how to use the site editor to edit your website, how to customize the pages, and how to write and publish blog posts. So let's start with our homepage and enhance its look. So I'm going to go to the site editor and OK. This is our header. As I mentioned in the early episodes, the header will appear on every page of our website. So visitors can quickly go through the website and find relevant pages quickly if we have a header with a navigation bar. Now the header seems okay to me, but you need to check whether all the navigation menus are working. So open a new tab and check whether all the links menus are working correctly. If your navigation bar doesn't work correctly, you should fix it as soon as possible. So how to fix it? So first of all, open the list view and expand the navigation menu. So I'm going to click on list view, and under the header you see another header element. There's content, and the first row corresponds to the site logo and the site title. So I'm going to open the next tab row, which has the navigation. Under that you see the content. So I'm going to click on the menu item I want to change. For this instant, I will click on about. Now, if the settings panel doesn't open, you can open it from here and change the text or the link as you want. Text is the display name on the website, and the link is the URL where you, you want that item to hold. Additionally, you can edit this link through the option bar that appears near the selected item block in the website editor. Alternatively, you can delete the block completely and insert a new page link block. This will insert a link to an already existing page in your website, or a custom link block which will insert any link you provide. In the options bar, there's another option called submenu. You can insert submenus which will appear as drop downs under the current menu if you do so. So to delete it, you can go here, and here's this delete option. You can use the shortcut Shift Alt and Z. So let me delete and show it. You can see it's completely gone, and I hit Ctrl Z to bring it back. And to add a complete new one, here's this plus icon. It shows add block, and here you can edit it as you want. So I'll edit it as well, and I'll show you how to add submenus. So I'm going to click on a block, and here's this add some menu button. I'm going to click on it. So here you can maybe let's point to blog for an example, right? So under the about page, you can see the blog submenu is there. So I'll delete it for this because this was just for demonstration. All right. And I want to add a search bar also. So users can search for what they want. So open list view. I have already opened it. And select the row block that contains the navigation block. So first of all, let me close these things, and I'm going to select the row block that contains the navigation block. And in the site editor, you'll see a plus icon appearing. So I'm going to click on it and search for search. And you will see the search icon. I'm going to click on it again. Now in the option bar that appears, I'll do the following changes. But your preference may be different from mine. So customize according to your needs. So turn off the toggle search label, and I will click on button position. I will make it to button only. And next, I'll click use button with icon switch on. And click on the search bar, and let's change the placeholder to search. Okay, now click outside and you will see the search button is appearing in the header. Now let's move on into the cover block. Let's change the color theme of the background image a little bit. The current color theme is not really engaging. So in the list view, click on block. Okay, and you can select from the site editor as well. So I'm going to open the settings panel. And in the settings panel, in the styles tab, click on the overlay button. Now select black and then try to change the overlay opacity. So I'll click black and I will set this to about 50. That seems nice. So if the text color is still black, you can change it to white from the text tab. So you may wonder, so is white, gray and black are the only colors available? Of course not. So if you click here, you will be able to select any color you want, and you can like enter the hexadecimal values or the RGB values to make it to your preference. So let me introduce you to the gradient color also. So in the overlay, click on it and select gradient. Now you need to select how the color gradient should appear and what colors you need. So you can add your colors here. So let me add them. And let's set the angle, let's say. So you can see when I rotate the angle, the gradients change. So I'll set it to 90. All right, it seems nice. So feel free to experiment with different combinations and find the one that suits you. But also think about the user experience also. Now click in the heading block in the cover, and in the settings panel, click on typography for more options. So you can see these three buttons, typography options, and click on it. So it opens this advanced settings. Currently, only the size customization is appearing here, but you can add more options like font, line spacing, letter spacing, and decorations, and so on. So I click on this font option. Now you see it has been added here under typography. Now I can change the font as I need. So I'll change it to Albert Sans. Yeah. You can change the font of other text also like this. Now I'm going to delete this button block. I don't need it right now. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Now let's add a newsletter block. You can choose one from existing patterns or create a new one. Let me introduce you to how to create our own pattern so that we can use it throughout our site. I introduced what a newsletter is in our last episode. Let me briefly recap. So, if a visitor subscribes to your newsletter entering their email address, they will receive content updates on your website directly to their inbox. If you post a new blog post, that post will also be sent to that subscriber to their email inbox so that they can read the post directly from their emails. You can change the newsletter email settings via the settings in the WordPress dashboard. So let's add a newsletter subscribe block above the footer. So I'm going to click on the footer in the list view and click on these three buttons, and here you can see the settings at after and before. So I want the newsletter to appear before the footer, so I click at before, and here is the plus button. I'm gonna click on it. I'll click browse all, and here I'll search for newsletter. Mm, So here already built-in patterns are appearing. So we don't need to build that section from scratch using blocks. I'll select this one. Okay. So you may go to the settings panel, and so I click on the image, and you can go to the settings panel and set the aspect ratio as you need. So select the best ratio that fits your content. For my situation, 1 to 1 is the best fit, but it is automatically set to 1 to 1, so I'm not going to do anything. Otherwise, the image will not correctly fit in this space. So there are many options in the settings you may want to consider. So go ahead and experiment with each of them. Remember, you have an undo button to roll back your changes if you messed up. So don't hesitate to play around with each settings, styles and options. Let's select the whole block and change the background color to light gray also. Okay, now we have customized our newsletter section according to our needs. I may need to insert this section in other pages also. So what should I do? For that, we can make this a pattern. So open the list view and select the newsletter section and click on, let me close this, and click on these three dots, and you will see an option called create pattern. We'll click on it, and I'll give the name newsletter, and the category as my patterns. So my patterns it is okay, and you can see the synced button is clicked on, so this syncs across multiple locations. And now I will click on create. So it has been created. You can see the icon has changed to a pattern. Now open the block inserter and click on the patterns tab, and you can search, or you can see the my patterns tab. So under that category you can see the newsletter. There are, like, you will see there are three newsletters appearing, which are the newsletters have been created before, but for you, guess you will see only one newsletter. So now we can use it whenever we need in other pages. Another important thing I need to say is that WordPress Help Center has all the details about what each setting does. You can go there and find out any necessary details about where you have confusions. So I'm going to open a new tab and I'll simply search for wordpress.com/support. Hit enter, and this will take you to a place where you would find many articles and help guides to get help. So if you scroll down, you would see the join the community forum, where you can search for some issues others faces, or the solutions they get, or you can ask your own questions. And there are tutorials, so also take a look. So I'm going to come back to the editor and I'm going to show you a way to get help within the editor. So to open that, click on the help icon on top of the page near the next to the settings panel, and search for the help you need. So you can see they have given some recommendations, so we can search block wise and all that. And for example, let's say paragraph, and yeah, and it will give the description about the paragraph and all the necessary details. So in addition, you can, it doesn't need to be mentioned also, you can Google and get the help you want. Also, if you want to learn more about a specific block, click on that block, and in the settings panel you will see an option called block guide. Let me show you to you. Click the headings block, and under the settings you will see the block guide. So remember, you're not alone. Resources are available to help you. Okay, let's move into our footer now. So I'm going to click on footer. Here in the social icons, when you click it, you can insert a link that links to your social media page if you have a social media account or page relevant to the website. So I'm going to add our YouTube channel here. So click on list view, and I have expanded it already. Under footer, I come to social icons and I click on this plus button. I search for YouTube. Here it is. Click it, and I'm going to enter the link for our YouTube channel. Okay, so when someone click on this, they will be directed to the YouTube playlist. So let's save the changes and see how our website has changed. So I'm going to click on save and only open a new tab, and I'll head to the website. Here it is. Here the newsletter and all the icons. You can see they're pointing to the playlist. Wonderful, isn't it? Okay, let's head back to the dashboard. Now let's move on to editing the blog page. Blog page is a page that contains your published post. I have edited some of the content here and updated the content in our blog page already. So now there is a blog section with a query loop block inside. Let me open it. List view under blog. It is query loop. So I'm not going to change on it. This block will show all the posts you have been published. You can see on the options bar, when you click on the display settings, some options appear. Here you can set the number of pages to be shown in one page. Currently it is set to 6. When the user needs to browse to other articles, they need to go to the next pages or previous pages through this next page and previous page buttons that appear beneath the block. You can see previous page, next page. So you can learn more about the query block if you select the block and go to the block guide. In the settings panel, as I previously mentioned during the home page customization section. Now come down and you will see the subscribe block. This is nothing but the newsletter subscription block. Now we have a more customized newsletter pattern that we have created during the previous steps. Let's add a new block after the spacer block in the newsletter section. So I'm going to click on spacer and click on the 3 dots, and I'll click on add after. So I'm going to click on the plus button and I click browse all, and under patterns I'll go to my patterns. If not, you can search here, and I'll add the newsletter. Okay, and I'll close the block inserter. And now let's remove these additional blocks. Yeah, it seems nice now. This is the benefit of patterns. You can use previously designed patterns when you need without building it from scratch every time. Also, you can browse the default patterns provided by the WordPress itself also. Now our blog page is ready. Let's go back to the dashboard. All right. Now you know how to edit your pages. So you can edit your about page, contact page, and other pages also as you wish. Don't worry if you feel stuck. You can always refer to the help center or blog guide, and don't hesitate to search Google for assistance. Remember, in this digital age, knowledge is just a click away, waiting to be discovered by curious minds. So keep exploring and you'll find everything you need. Now I'm going to the post menu in the dashboard. Currently, I have two posts published. Let's go to the reading tips post. Okay, let me open this to you. Right. So, first, I would like to add a table of contents to this post so the readers can find whether the information they are looking for exists here. And also they can quickly navigate to the heading they like. So after the first paragraph, I will hover over here and add a new block. And I'll click on browse all to up the block inserter. And I'm going to search for table of contents. It is. And I'm going to add it. And it has been added. Now you see all the headings in the post have been automatically added. If your post has no headings, then you may not see anything in this block. So make sure to organize your post with some useful headings. If you intend to use the table of contents, or otherwise you can manually create a table of contents using the list block. It is, you can use the list block and you can create it manually. Now let's see how this is working. First, when you hover over one of these content items, you see the corresponding link appear beneath the browser. You can see in the left bottom corner. You see it has our heading name followed by a hashtag. That is called an anchor. Anchors are used to navigate to the different sections in the same page. So how does the anchor link to the heading we want? Let me select one of the headings in our post. Let's select this one and I'll open the settings panel, and down below you will see the advanced section. Let me expand it and you will see this HTML anchor. Here you can see the anchor of the currently selected heading. You can change it from here. If the currently selected block is a heading, if you change the anchor tag from here, the table of contents gets automatically updated. So the table of content items has links to the anchors which are binded to the headings. When someone clicks on the corresponding item in the table of contents, they will be scrolled down to the corresponding heading, which includes that anchor tag. Now I think you have the basic idea on how the anchor work in a page. Let me save the changes and preview this. So I'm going to save it and I'm going to click on view post. Okay, here's our beautiful blog post. Okay, and I'm going to click on let's take breaks and place yourself. You see, we have been navigated to that paragraph automatically. It's working. So let's come back to the editor. So is a table of content the only way to use anchor tags in a more valuable way? Of course not. You can insert any page jumps by using anchor tags. Let me demonstrate. So at the end of the post, I'm going to insert a new buttons block. So I'm going to go to the bottom and I click on plus and I search for button series, and I'm going to name it go to top. Okay, and I'm going to open the settings panel. Here in the styles tab there is a section called, if you scroll down, there's a section called border and shadows. It currently has two options called border and radius. If you open this more options, you can click by these three buttons, you will see you can add the shadows option here. So I'm going to click on it and I'll add it. Okay, now the new shadow option has appeared under the border and shadows section. First I'm going to increase the radius, so this will give rounded corners to our button. You see, as I increase the radius, the button is getting more and more rounded corners. So, and here's a trick. If you click on this link icon next to the radius slider, you will see 4 radius change boxes appear. So what are they? They are for the 4 corners in your block. You can give different corner radius to different corners. I show you by giving different values to each corner. So let me set this to 15 and this to 15 as well. So you can see it gives a different shape. However, for this button, this will not be necessary, but you may find this option more useful when you are designing other larger blocks. So keep this in your mind. And I'll set all the values for 50 for now. All right. So you can insert a shadow also if you want. Let me demonstrate. What happened to the shadows? Hold on. Yeah, it's been added. Yeah, this would be good. Now I use this button to navigate the viewers to the top of the page so they can quickly jump to the top without scrolling through the whole article. How can I do that? Well, yes, we can use the help of anchor tags. So come to the top of the blog post and select the first block. Okay, and go to the advanced, and under HTML anchor you will see page top, or if not you can edit. So I'm going to copy it. Now come down to the button that we created, and in the option bar that appears, I'm going to click on the link icon and I'm going to give it the link. I'll add hashtag and page top. So remember, you need to add the hashtag before the anchor element. So that's very important. And now click on enter. So you see we have created the button that is supposed to navigate to the top. Let's save the changes and see whether it's working. So I'm going to hit on save. Here's the website. Reload it. So here's the button. Let's click on it. Yeah, let's see it's working. We are scrolled to the top of the page. Let me show it again. Click on top and yeah, in the top. Okay, so this is just an example on how to use the anchor tags effectively. You may want these in your website pages for various other purposes. Okay, so now our page is ready. Now I want to add the newsletter block to my post at the end of the post content. But there is a small issue. If I add it here in the post, it will appear only in the post. So I have to add the newsletter block manually to every post I create. So is there a way to add a block that will appear on every post automatically? Of course there is. You guessed it correct. Don't underestimate WordPress. Okay, for this we need to edit the template. So what is the template? Let's find out. So first of all, let me scroll up and I'll open this settings panel and I will go to post and you can see an option called template. Currently it is set to single posts. What does that mean? That means that our post is using the single post template. Every post I create uses this template. It's like a blueprint for every post. It says to every post that your structure should be like this. So if I could edit the template, then all the posts will display that change right away. So I'll click on single post and I will select edit template. Okay. Now this is the main blueprint of every post we create. Let's go to the list view and find out what is there in the template. There is a header block, the main body, and the footer. In the main body, there is two groups blocks. First one contains the title and the featured image. That will be different from post to post, but the template is the same. After that group, there is a content block. It is where our post contents go. Next, there is another block for comments. I need to add the newsletter block after the content block and before the comments section. So the readers can subscribe to our newsletter right after finishing reading the post if they find our article useful. I think now you understand the difference between editing posts and editing templates. I'll add a new block after the content block. So click on the three buttons and select add after. I will click the plus and I will select patterns and I will go to my patterns. So if you recall, we created a sync pattern. So for this, I will be needing a unsynced pattern. So let me brief you about the two differences, the key differences between a synced pattern and an unsynced pattern. But before that, let me first create a unsynced pattern. So first of all, I'm going to click on save. So I'm going to click on this block editor sidebar and I'm going to click on view post and I'll navigate to the home page. And here on the sidebar, you see a tab called patterns. So I'm going to click on it. And here under the category, I'm going to select my patterns. So you can see the pattern I created and you can see the sync status says synced. So to create a new unsynced one, what you need to do is click on this three dots and duplicate this. And you can change the name. I will change to newsletter unsynced and I will click this, turn this button off and I will duplicate it. So in the pattern, there is one which is not synced and one is synced. So first let's talk about sync patterns. These are also known as reusable blocks. These are your go-to for consistency. When you make a change to a sync pattern, it updates everywhere on your site where that pattern is used. This is perfect for content that needs to be uniform, like footers, promotional banners, or call to action sections. You manage these patterns from one central location, making updates a breeze. On the other hand, we have unsynced patterns. These are designed for flexibility. Once you insert an unsynced pattern into a post or a page, it's independent. You can customize each instance without affecting any others. This makes unsynced patterns ideal for unique page-specific content where you want more control and variation. So I'm going to head back to editing the template, the single post template, and I will add the unsynced newsletter. So I will close this and you can see templates and here is the single post template. All right, let's open up list view and here's the place where we needed to add the pattern. So I click on plus, browse all, patterns, my patterns, and I'm going to add the unsynced pattern here. So like I can edit this individually, so let me demonstrate. I'll open the settings panel and I will remove the background color. See, it's removed. So let's save the changes and let's check if it's working in our post. So I'm going to click on save and I'll refresh the page. Yes, you can see it has been added and the background is removed. And let's check if it's working on our other posts. See, the changes have taken effect in every post that uses the single post template. And also remember that if you are using a different theme, then these templates names may be different than ours. So make sure you check with the corresponding template that comes with your theme. Now there is an issue. The width of the newsletter block is too big. It doesn't match with the other contents in the post template. So we need to fix it. How can we do it? First of all, let me go to the place where I edited the template. So read tips, click on edit template, and I will open list view, and I will select the newsletter. And I'm going to open up the settings panel, and I want the news block to take the width of the contents that appear above. So make sure that the inner block's use content width button is switched on, and change the content width to 620 pixels. This is because that's the default size of the content width in our current theme. Now save the changes. Sorry, 620. Alright, save the changes. Saved. And let's reload our page. Now its width has been set to match with the other page element, but there is an issue with the title. The letters E and R has gone to the next line. I can make this smaller or reduce the gap between the image and the content here. I show you how to change the gap between these two items. So let me come back to the editor, and in the editor I'll open list view, and under newsletter I will click on this columns bar, and I will also open the settings panel. So under the settings panel there is this section called styles. Under that you will find the option called block spacing. There is a vertical block spacing option, so I'm going to set the value for 2x more, and I will save and preview. Go to the page and I'll reload, scroll down. Yeah, now only one R is here. So to fix that, I will reduce the font size of the heading, the newsletter section. I will select this and I will set it to large. I will click on save, go back to the page and I'll reload again. And it is fixed. Okay, now let's go back to the dashboard. In the dashboard, there is a menu called feedback. I'm going to click on it. So this is the place where you can see all the responses you take from your audiences. For an example, if someone submitted the contact form in your website's contact us page, that response will appear here. And now let's go to the settings menu. I'm going to scroll down, and under the settings menu I'm going to the newsletter submenu. So this is the place where you can customize your newsletter settings. So go through each of them and see what each option does. Remember to master WordPress. You should be very familiar with WordPress. So explore more and more. Alright, we have covered a lot in this episode, haven't we? Let's take a quick recap of what we have accomplished together. We have learned how to customize in the homepage more to enhance the user experience, applying gradient colors to blocks for a vibrant look, creating your own pattern and using it across your site, adding a table of contents to posts, applying border radius and box shadow, using anchor tags for smooth navigation, understanding and editing templates, exploring additional menu options in the WordPress dashboard, and many more. Isn't it amazing how much you can do with WordPress? By now, you are well on your way to become a web development whiz. The power to customize, create, and control every aspect of your website is right at your fingertips. Imagine the possibilities: a beautiful designed site, a growing audience, and the satisfaction of knowing you built it all. Web development isn't just a skill, it's an art. Each tweak, each customization, each piece of content you add is a brushstroke in your digital canvas. The more you experiment and explore, the more you will fall in love with the process. Before you know it, you will be addicted to the thrill of watching your site come to life and evolve. So keep pushing the boundaries, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep having fun with it. The beauty of handling your own website is the endless opportunities to express yourself and connect with your audience. Your journey in web development has just begun, and I can't wait to see the incredible sites you'll create. I have, if you have learned something new from this video series or have something to tell us, drop a comment below and let us know. Your feedback is incredibly valuable and we love hearing about your progress. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and who are willing to dive into web development with WordPress.